It's time for the game to review Monday Night Raw. And on that note, guys, let's get ready to suck it, because this show fucking sucks. Now, people are going to lie to you. People are going to lie to themselves. People are going to say that WWE has been great under Triple H. And the truth is, honestly, it hasn't. It hasn't got better. It's been different, but has it been better? No. I mean, Triple H he's doing a couple of things differently. He's bringing in a couple of guys from NXT, a couple of people that were released, a couple of people, been called up, this and that. But overall, has the product got better? No, it hasn't. Raw is just as bad now as it was 2 months ago. It's not any better. And the show still fucking sucks, essentially. So, yeah, let's quickly go through this whole show. I mean, this was a terrible Raw. Absolutely atrocious Raw. One of the worst Raws I can remember seeing. And Raws are pretty bad, I mean, it's not like... I mean, it's pretty hard to be a bad Raw, because most of them are bad. But this one did suck. So, we kick off with the Judgment Day. Nobody cares about the Judgment Day. As soon as you took Edge out the Judgment Day, the stable was dead. It wasn't relevant. It was done. Now, they've been having this feud with the Mysterios now for, I don't know, but 2 months or whatever. And it just annoys me that they've got Rhea Ripley in this, but due to due to the zero man-on-woman violence, it makes every single segment, every single match, every single time these two feuds are involved, it just makes it ridiculous. It makes it look stupid, because Rhea Ripley's constantly involved, but no one can touch her. So Finn Balor's talking shit. He's cutting a bad promo about the Mysterios. Rey comes out with a chair, starts hitting Damian Priest and Finn Balor, and then Rhea Ripley's left in the ring, and Rhea Ripley's staring at Rey, and the commentators are saying that Rey's handicapped because there's nothing he can do, and Rhea Ripley's like taunting Rey and wanting Rey. He's saying, "Come on, Rey, you know where you want to hit me." And I'm thinking, honestly, why wouldn't Rey hit her? Now, I'm not saying men should go around just beating up women for no reason, but let's be real, right? Fucking Rhea Ripley's been beating up his son left, right, and centre. Plus, she's a big roided up bitch. I mean, she's got about 2 feet on fucking Rey. So why wouldn't he hit her? Why wouldn't he knock her out? But no, he can't, because there's some mad, invisible wall there. And it just looks stupid that she's taunting him, and he's just standing there. He can't do nothing. It's fucking dumb. And then obviously this always leads to one of the male members attacking Rey from behind. But on this occasion, it doesn't happen. Rhea Ripley just leaves the ring. Then Rey continues to beat up Balor, continues to beat up Priest, and then he grabs a chair. He's about to hit Balor with a chair, and Rhea Ripley slides in the ring again. She kneels in front of Balor, and she waves her finger at Rey to go no, you ain't hitting Balor, because I'm in front of Balor. And then Damian Priest attacks him from behind. They do the coup de grace off the top rope onto the steel chair. It takes Mysterio out, and I'm just thinking, honestly here, so Rey's got his ass whooped just because he wouldn't hit Rhea Ripley, essentially. I mean, if you can't have any sort of interaction with the men on women, then why even have them in the same fucking scenes? It just makes no sense to me that Rey is just going to leave himself open here, leave himself vulnerable, because he can't do nothing. He could be whipping Damian Priest and Balor's ass 2-on-1, but as soon as Rhea Ripley gets involved, that's it. Rey can't do nothing. Even if he's winning the fight, he just has to stand there and wait to get attacked, because, Rhea Ripley's a woman, or at least she identifies as a woman, looks more like a fucking man than Rey does, but here, you tell me. So, yeah, really, really dumb opening segment. Honestly, there's no point of mixing men and women in 2022. It's the same with mixed tags, where you'll see women maybe do moves to men, but the men can't even fucking look at the women, or it'll be a DQ. It's dumb. It's fucking stupid. If that's the case, then just do not have men and women involved at all. Honestly, do not have them involved physically at all, if that's the way they're going to do it. So yeah, shite way to start the show. Then we have Dolph Ziggler and Theory. Apparently they've got a lot in common. Ziggler says he earned this briefcase, so it wasn't handed to him. Theory doesn't like this. Theory says, unlike Dolph, he's going to, cash in to be champion and be remembered and not be a flash in the pan and not lose his belt. Then these two get into a bit of a brawl. I mean, who cares? I didn't. I mean, it's Austin Theory, a guy that I don't like, versus Dolph Ziggler, a guy that's been not relevant for like a decade. Again, what are we doing here? Then we move into the tag team tournament match. We've got Alexa Bliss and Asuka versus Nikki Ash and Doudrop. Horrible. Just get rid of the belts. There's no tag team division. There is no women tag team. So why are we having an 8-person women tag team tournament? You know, it just makes zero sense to me. Alexa Bliss and Asuka win. Big fat ass Doudrop taps it to the armbar. So yeah, Asuka picks up the win. Then we got Mustafa Ali and Cedric versus The Miz and Ciampa. Miz was busted open. I mean, that's what happens when you work with guys that ain't safe. I mean, look at The Miz, right? The Miz never gets injured. The Miz never gets, like, hurt or anything like this. Then you stick him in a tag team match with, guys, glorified 205 Live guys, indie guys, and then he comes out the match with a busted mouth, just ridiculous. Anyway, The Miz and Ciampa win. It is what it was. Was it a good match? No. Then we have Kevin Owens interrupts Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre says that he was on about how the rumours of him having a sore back are true because he's been carrying the roster. He's been carrying 20 guys on his back. So Drew McIntyre trying to be funny, but it was cringy. It really was. And then Owens came out, said he was going to be he's returning to the prize fighter. He says that 6 years ago, him and Zayn had a match in this arena that people still talk about to this day. He calls Drew the chosen one. Drew gets pissed off at this. He says he was the chosen one 15 years ago, but then he got released and he had to work his ass off to get back into this company. And he says that WWE called him. He didn't call WWE. And then this is the cringiest shit you'll see on the show. He says that he doesn't care if Owens is a prize fighter, sports entertainer. He says they're wrestlers, so let's have a wrestling match inside this wrestling ring because we're wrestlers. So Drew McIntyre just getting the whole wrestler gimmick out, just getting the whole wrestler title out. And I mean, if you look at anybody who is a star, they never spoke about being wrestlers. I mean, Austin wasn't a wrestler. Austin was the toughest son of the bitch in WWE, the Texas Rattlesnake. Austin wanted to whoop your ass. He didn't want to wrestle you in the ring. He wanted to whoop your ass. The Undertaker didn't want to wrestle you in the ring. You know, he fucking digged holes and took souls. That's what he done, right? The Rock whooped Candy ass. Fucking Mick Foley wanted to kill you with thumbtacks and barbed wire. The whole wrestling thing, it sucks. I mean, it does suck. It sucks 100%. No one ever got over by claiming to be, oh, I want to wrestle you, and let's wrestle. We're wrestlers. I mean, the only person that ever spoke about being the best damn technical wrestler was Chris Benoit, and it worked for him because he was the only guy doing it. But now, it's everybody's fucking gimmick. So yeah, Drew McIntyre talks about being wrestlers, and this is why Drew McIntyre will never be anything more than just a main eventer in 2022. No one will ever, in 20 years' time, you're never going to put Drew McIntyre in a GOAT category. And it's for simple stuff like this, because he's not a GOAT. He's just a guy. He's just a 6'6" guy that wrestles. That's it. There's nothing special about Drew McIntyre, and I'm saying that as a fellow Scot. The guy just, you'd think that, being in the wrestling business that long and growing up watching the Attitude Era, you'd think that Drew McIntyre would look at guys like Austin and The Rock and Taker, and he would know what made them fucking, stars. I mean, look at Bret Hart. He was a guy that wanted to wrestle, and look at Bret. Look, I'm boring as fuck. One of the most overrated guys ever. I mean, if you look at wrestling, and if you think the best people in wrestling are like some Bret Hart, Owen Hart, the Harts, and Benoit, then no. I look at wrestling, and when I think of the greats, I think of Austin, I think of Taker. I think of people like that, not fucking guys that, bragged about being good wrestlers. That doesn't work for me. Then we got Owens versus Drew, and then during the match, they do that part where they grab each other by the neck and they both throw punches at the same time. No one's fucking selling it. They're throwing rapid punches at each other. And again, this is like an indie scene. This is an indie spot. This looks so fucking bad. You never seen this back in the day. Back in the day when it was actual stars, actual main eventers. If you had Austin, let's say, versus The Rock, Austin would throw a punch at The Rock. The Rock would sell it. The Rock would go back, and then he would fire a slap back at Austin. Austin would sell it, Austin would rock back, and then he would fire a punch back at The Rock. You know, they would actually sell each other's punches. They never show me one scene where Austin and The Rock, right, stood beside each other, stood facing each other, you know, wrapped one arm around each other, held each other close, and then with the other free arm, you know, threw about 10 rapid punches. Show me anybody that's over, show me anybody for the Attitude Era doing that scene, doing that spot. Honestly, show me Taker, Triple H, Rock, you know, fucking Kane, Foley, HBK. Show me anybody doing that, and you won't see it because it's dumb. It's horrendous. Then we get the Usos come out, they interrupt the match. Drew McIntyre gets the upper hand, even though the Usos attacked him from behind. He throws them to the outside. He turns around. Kevin Owens hits him with a stunner, then walks off. Again, the fact that Kevin Owens is using the stunner shows you the guy's an Austin mark. You know, he loves Austin, but he doesn't even know what got Austin over. Wrestling didn't get Austin over. Being the baddest son, the toughest son of a bitch in the company got Austin over, you know, coming out opening cans of whooping ass got Austin over. Attacking and making Vince McMahon's life hell got Austin over. Austin claiming to be a good wrestler and wanting to wrestle and, you know, wanting to send the fans home happy by putting on a 20-minute wrestling clinic. That didn't do nothing for Austin, right? That did not propel Austin to stardom. Did it? No, it did not. Anyway, then Owens walks off, so McIntyre's had a stunner. The Usos get back in, they're setting him up for the 1D, and McIntyre gets the upper hand on the Usos again. So the Usos come out, attack Drew from behind. Drew gets the upper hand, tosses the Usos out. Then Kevin Owens hits Drew with a stunner. The Usos come back in, have the upper hand on Drew, but then Drew gets the upper hand on them again and throws them both out the ring. How bad did the Usos look here? I mean, how weak did they look? I thought they're supposed to be right-hand man and main event. What? They both got beat up twice by Drew. And they attacked them from behind and they had the advantage on both occasions, yet they couldn't make it stick. You tell me, what was that? Seriously, I don't get it. Just dumb. Really fucking dumb. I mean, the Usos are supposed to be this dominant tag team, you know, they are dominant tag team, the longest reigning champions ever, you know what I mean? So, but the fact that they can't do anything, it's stupid, you know, it really is. I mean, they're both getting beat up by Drew here, not once but twice, and they had the upper hand, they had the advantage of being able to attack Drew from behind, so how did this happen? It just makes no sense, you know. I get they want to make Drew look strong, but at the same time, man, they made the Usos look incredibly weak here. Then, speaking of a guy that looks weak, we had Fear Mahan return after, I mean, it took him about a year to actually fucking debut, and then he beats up a bunch of jobbers, then he moves on to the Mysterios, and then he just disappears, now he's back beating up bums that we don't know. So he hasn't progressed, he's regressed, he's going backwards. He's already faced the Mysterios, so why is he moving back to nameless local guys? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. None. Zero. But yeah, Fear Mahan beat some guy that I don't even know his name. Who cares? I mean, who gives a shit, really? Fear Mahan, just get rid of him, right? This guy's not got nothing. This guy is not going to draw money. This guy's not a star. This guy's not like a mega heel. This guy is absolutely... He's nothing. You know, he's not world champion material, so what's the point? Why push him? Move on to somebody else. Simple as that. We then have Riddle. He's backstage doing an interview. Seth Rollins is in the ring, cutting a promo on him. Again, it's just it's mouthfuls of nothing, really. I mean, they're talking, but they're not saying anything. Riddle comes out, tries to attack Rollins. Rollins about to curb stomp him again on the announce table. Riddle fights out of it, kicks Rollins. Rollins escapes through the crowd. Riddle gives chase. And then Riddle poses in the crowd. Who cares? I thought this was bad. Then we have, speaking of bad, with Dakota Kai versus Dana Brooke. They referred to Dana Brooke as the veteran in this match, even though Dakota Kai's been wrestling longer. But then they said, oh, she's a WWE veteran, so they're just, you know, changing their tune here to... I mean, who cares? I mean, Dana Brooke... There's no money in Dana Brooke. There's nothing in Dana Brooke. She's been there, about 8 years, and... For the last year, she's been relegated to the 24/7 ship. We know that Dana Brooke is never going to achieve anything. I think she should have been released a long time ago. Dakota Kai, haven't seen much of her, but at least she's fresh and she hasn't failed yet. So even though I think the whole trio thing she's part of is a failure, but yeah, at least Dakota Kai, the right person won this match. Dakota Kai beat Dana Brooke, but I mean, of course she was going to beat Dana Brooke. Then we had Riddle ran into the Irish guy backstage. He challenged Rollins to a showdown at Clash of Champions. We then had Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles in a United States title match. Bobby Lashley hits AJ with a spear. He ducked the phenomenal forearm, springboard forearm. Then he hit him with a spear, retained his belt. Then Lashley, backstage, I think this was a network exclusive, said he'll face anybody, anyone, any time, anywhere. And then it was main event time, Dolph Ziggler versus Fury. And Dolph Ziggler lost to Fury, which we all expected to happen. So yeah, then he posed with his briefcase. I mean, this was just, if you look at the shows since Triple H took over, it's clear to see it's just match heavy. He thinks having long matches and putting people's favourite wrestlers in matches and having title matches is what's going to make the company better. No. We need segments, we need promos, we need funny stuff, we need storylines, and there's none here. There's none. There's people in feuds, but there's no actual storylines. Where is the stories? Name me one story. There ain't a story. There's people that don't like each other and they're currently feuding, but there is no story. There's no, like, who attacked this person or who ran over this person or who slept with this person's wife. Why can't we have stuff like that? Seriously, why can't we fucking have actual stories? But no. Fucking who blew up Vince McMahon's limo? You know what I mean? But all we get is Kevin Owens doesn't like McIntyre, and Bayley's back and she's brought two NXT people with her. I mean, what's that going to do for me? Absolutely nothing. So yeah, guys, this Raw I thought sucked, and it's like I said, it's just all matches. The lack of segments, the lack of vignettes, the lack of promos. That's how you get people over. Matches are for pay-per-views. Matches are for premium live events. Raw and SmackDown is to build up characters, and at the moment, under this Triple H era, we're getting none of that. We're getting absolutely none of that. I'm going to give this Raw, I'll give it a 0 out of 10. Thought it sucked. Absolutely thought it sucked. And if anyone thought it was... if you actually thought this show was good, and you want to complain about my rating, why not actually, construct a sentence in the comments, rather than just say, "Oh, this show was great." Not explain why was it great. Tell me how it was great, because I've told you how it sucked. Like, it was just match after match after match. There's no character development. There's no storylines. There's no nothings. I mean, name me where was a good promo in this show? There wasn't. There was just Drew McIntyre being cringy and claiming to be a wrestler in a wrestling ring in a wrestling company, and he wants to wrestle. Well, who gives a shit, really? I mean, come on. You've got The Rock talking about fucking eating chicks' asses out, talking about pie 24/7, and then you've got McIntyre talking about he wants to wrestle other men and get sweaty. I mean, who are we supposed to care for here, The Rock or Drew McIntyre? Come on. Anyway, this show sucked. 0 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below. That's my rating. Till next time, peace.